up, guys? Today is January 2nd, so happy New Year to everybody. Hope everyone had a great New Year, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm happy 2023 is over, to say the least. It was not a bad year by any means. On paper, business did great, best year yet, so really can't complain about that. But I guess it was just a little tumultuous. I mean, you guys know how it is when it comes to employees, equipment. The weather this year killed us, so just been all over the place. But not a bad year by any means, just a little bit mentally wearing, I guess would be the best way to put it. But let's go take a look outside and show you guys, I guess, what the theme of this video is. So you can see we got no snow on the ground, nothing. That truck is the only one that has a plow on it. These 4 plows have been sitting here for about a month now, probably. That skid steer hasn't even gone out to its site yet, so it's been an odd year, to say the least, weather-wise. Like I said, summer, raining every other day, basically, and then we get to winter, and it's just been like this. So I'm not complaining too much, which I'll get into that in this video. But basically just going to go over with you guys how we set up our contracts, how I keep money in my pockets throughout the winter, because I mean, you can see we got hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment just sitting here. It's been sitting here for the last month. All my guys have been on payroll for the last month, sitting at home doing nothing. And I mean, as you guys know, the bills don't stop. You still got insurance, you still got workers' comp, you still have your payments on vehicles, so that's all coming out of my pocket still. So but I'm basically going to go over with you guys our contracts, how we set things up, and basically how you can make it through winter without going broke when it doesn't snow. So I did take my drone out to a couple of sites just this afternoon, so I threw that up in the air and basically just going to be narrating over those videos. Like I said, how we set up our contracts. I'll get into the pricing a little bit. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty, but kind of tell you guys how we do our pricing, the contracts that we go after, and also, like I said, how to not go broke snow plowing when you got equipment sitting here for over a month. So without further ado, I guess we'll get into it. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear me well enough, but we're here in the office. Figured I'd show you guys the contracts that we send out to these commercial properties, just how we present ourselves, what these contracts list out, and how we set ourselves apart from our competition. So I have 2 different contracts that I send out. I'm going to show both of them to you guys, both very similar. One gives the property an option to do per push pricing or seasonal pricing. So per push is, when it snows, they pay for the plowing, they pay for the salt, they pay for the walkway clearing. Seasonal contract is a little bit different. They pay a set monthly payment per month throughout the winter and basically covers all bases. So again, that's basically how we survive throughout the winter without any snow, because like I said, it hasn't snowed here. About 85% of our contracts are seasonal contracts. So like I said, I mean, we're getting paid to sit at home. I'm still able to make payments, pay my guys, and keep everybody happy. But this first contract I'm going to show you includes the seasonal and per push option. I only send this contract out to smaller commercial properties. Larger ones, you really have to have a seasonal contract in place, especially if you're paying guys, to be on hand or keeping a machine on site. It's just, at that point necessary to have, some blanket there to protect yourself. But you can see on our cover page here, pretty simple. We just have our logo, we have our company information, we list out what the contract is, and then usually we'll put the property address right here. So we'll scroll down to here. The client can input their information up top. We have our scope of service here. I'm not going to read all the way through it. If you'd like to, you're more than welcome to pause the video and go through that. But we'll come down here. We have our lot plowing charges. So like I said, these 2 contracts, I just took our template, I plugged in some numbers, so this isn't a real contract for any of the properties I'm going to show you guys. But you can see we list out our snow accumulation, 1 push 500, 2 pushes 1,000, 3 pushes 1,500. Pretty simple. Same thing with the walkway clearing, 200, 400, 600. We'll come down here to additional material charges. It lists what the bulk salt is per application, the walkway calcium per application. Then we have our additional hourly rates here. So these are our hourly rates, or what we charge for additional work. Now, it'll differ all across the country, so it may be different in your guys' area. So don't base your numbers off mine, I guess I would say. But once we get to the bottom here, we have our optional seasonal pricing. So how I come up with this number is we'll take our per push numbers. So we'll add up the lot plowing for one push. We'll add up the walkway clearing for one push. We'll add up the bulk salt for one application and the walkway calcium for one application. So all that added up, I believe, came to 1425. Around here, usually we have roughly 15 events per season. So we'll add up those numbers. I'll multiply it by 15, and we get our seasonal rate there. So you could see in our seasonal pricing, it's unlimited snow plowing, unlimited walkway clearing, but we only allow up to 15 de-icings per year. Now, like I said, your area might be different. You guys may be salting every single day, but in our area, usually we're around 15 events per season. So the seasonal pricing will include 15 de-icings just to cover ourselves. If it is more than that, then we just end up charging them their on top of the seasonal rate, the additional charge for salt up here. So that's just something basically to cover ourselves. When I first started out, I did unlimited salting for our seasonal contracts. I never ran into a major issue, but just to mainly cover ourselves. So once we scroll down here, we just have all the disclaimers and whatnot: termination, turf repair, property damage, material availability, and all the good stuff. And then once we get to the bottom here, we have an area for them to decide between seasonal and per push pricing, as well as a signature section. So if we bounce over here to the second contract, same idea, but this is for, if we get a call for a larger site, where again, we have to have that blanket to cover ourselves. So we will only offer seasonal pricing in certain situations. Like I said, if it's a small enough property and we're doing it with, trucks and plows, then doing per push is fine. Now, like I said, about 85% of our business is seasonal contracts and 15% is per push. I like to have that balance just because we have, the bulk of that money coming in throughout the winter no matter what. But when it does snow, we have some extra money coming in. We're able to cover our material expenses, our fuel, and then, we also have a little bit of extra money going into our pockets when it does snow. So we really can't complain too much about that. But that's pretty much it for the contract. So why don't we bounce over and start taking a look at some of these properties. Okay, so we got our first property here. Now this is a set of apartments. I want to say I picked these guys up about 4, maybe even 5 years ago at this point. But this site is run by a management company. I only deal with a handful of management companies for a few different reasons, but these guys, they take care of us. They pay us on time, which is a big thing with the management companies, and they work with us. Anytime they get a complaint from one of the residents, they'll, shoot us an email, give us a call, and, say, hey, whenever you get around to it, we know you guys take pride in your work, and, we know you guys do a good job for us. So, they take care of us, we take care of them. That's just, the relationship that we have. But these guys reached out to us, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago for a small job. I want to say we planted some boxwoods, did some mulch. I think it was like a $1,500 job. They saw how great of a job we did with that, and they said, hey, why don't you give us a bid for the snow plowing and the mowing here? So we gave them a bid, and we've been doing it ever since then. So if these guys were to have reached out to us today, this probably would have been a site that I would have subbed out for a few different reasons. First reason, you could see there are sidewalks going all the way around the property. Now, we have been short on guys for that past however many years, so finding shovelers is a pain. We do have a sidewalk machine. However, our sidewalk machine is 47 inches, and these are 36-inch sidewalks, so you can see the issue there. Second problem, the area where the drone is zooming in on between these two buildings, that is pretty much the only spot where we're able to stack snow. Now, this video was taken on a Tuesday morning, so if you come to this property after 5 p.m. or on the weekend, it is usually full of cars. So it makes it very difficult to stack snow anywhere, and it's all around just a bit of a pain. But like I said, this is a good management company, and they work with us, they take care of us, and we also take care of other properties for them, which we will go over and take a look at now. Now, this is a 72-unit townhome association with 60 individual driveways. Like I said, this is run by the same management company as that last complex that I just showed you guys. We were taking care of that site for a number of years. They reached out to us about 1.5 years ago and said, hey, we just purchased this new property and we want to get you guys in there, want to get you taken care of it. So really just goes to show how, getting your foot in the door with the right people and taking care of your clients can, really increase growth in your business and, get you these bigger properties. But we do keep a skid steer at this site throughout the winter for a couple of different reasons. The first one is the site is about 15 to 20 minutes north of our regular route area. So sending 2 plow trucks up here in the snow would be a bit of a pain. And then an even bigger pain would be those individual 60 driveways. Having to back drag all those with a plow truck would just be a nightmare. So we do keep a skid steer at this site. One nice thing about larger commercial sites too, I'm going to zoom in here. You can see that green blob on the screen. That is a dog park that we installed with artificial turf. A lot of these larger commercial sites, we'll get calls from the management companies asking for additional work to be done throughout the year, which can, of course it depends, but can usually round up to an extra $5,000 to $10,000 per year on top of the regular maintenance contract. So that's always nice. Quick transition here across town. You'll see my truck there in the parking lot, as well as our skid steer, which has been sitting at the site for, probably 5 weeks now, which is just crazy to think about. But you guys who watch our videos have definitely seen this property before. This is a supermarket that we maintain. Pretty cut and dry. We just got a big parking lot, a couple of islands in the middle, some walkways right up by the building, but those can be all back dragged with a skid steer, so not bad at all. But they reached out to us about a year ago asking for a quote. They found us on our website. You guys will notice a theme throughout this entire video that a lot of these properties we picked up from our website. I would highly encourage anyone looking, to grow their business to invest in a quality website. We're going to pan over here across the street, and we have a bank that we maintain. Now, our contract setup at this bank is a little bit different than the rest of our properties. So our skid steer, we keep it on this road to do a handful of properties. The route wasn't quite full for that machine, so a close friend of mine has a contract for this bank as well as one right down the street. So I reached out to him and said, hey, I've got a skid steer doing these other properties. Would you ever be interested in subbing out your banks to me? That skid steer will do them in a fraction of the time compared to a plow truck. He said, yeah, absolutely. Send me your numbers and we'll talk. So I sent things over to him. He was happy with it, and fast forward a few years and here we are, still maintaining them. So anytime I can work with someone to make either my life easier, their life easier, and make everybody money, I'm more than happy to do it. Fast forwarding here down the street, we have that second bank I was talking about. Pretty simple parking lot. We just got a big horseshoe. There's a drive-through for the bank teller, but nothing crazy. Unfortunately, this is one of those properties where they are extremely picky. We've gotten phone calls at 6 a.m. when there's a dusting on the ground, and they don't open until 9. So, unfortunately, you deal with those clients sometimes, and you have to put up with it. And last but not least, for our skid steer on this road, we have a small little plaza here, just a Chipotle and urgent care. So we picked up these properties about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now. The urgent care reached out to us first by, you guessed it, our website. We picked up the contract for them, and one day when my guys were over there doing a spring cleanup, the property manager was at the Chipotle while they were still building it, and he walked over, grabbed a business card from them, and here we are, however many years later, taking care of both properties. So, like I said, it is important having a good website. That's how we've gained a lot of these properties, but also in some cases, it's just right place, right time. And, if you catch a property manager's eye, they walk over, grab a business card, and like how you present yourself, then you're in. So this is the final property that I'm going to show you guys. This is a 44-unit townhome association with about 22 individual driveways. So this property was built about 3 years ago, and I drove by 2 years ago, right after a snowstorm. I just wanted to take a look inside. I drove through and noticed that whatever company they had doing the snow plowing
did an absolutely atrocious job. I mean, the grass was ripped up everywhere. They had water main shutoff valves in the lawns that were literally ripped out of the ground by the snowplow. So, I mean, whoever they had in there was just doing an absolute careless job. They did have a sign right up front with the management company's name on it. So I reached out, and again, like I said, you have to be careful with management companies, but it was a well-known company in the area, so figured I'd reach out. I left the property manager a voicemail. I said, hey, listen, I drove through the property. I'm a local landscaper. I own a company in the area, and I noticed that whoever you have is, no offense, but doing an awful job. And I was just curious if you guys would be open to having us put in a bid. He called me back immediately and said, yeah, we actually have been getting tons of complaints, so we are looking for a new company to get in there. So I sent in a bid, and they approved it, and here we are two years later, and everyone's happy. But you can tell, definitely a pretty easy complex. We have a main roadway going through here. Like I said, those 22 individual driveways. So smaller townhome associations like this are perfect for our little subcompact tractor with a snowblower. What the guys will do is they will keep the main roadways cleared throughout the storm with the plow trucks, and then they'll come back usually at the end of the storm if it's a small enough storm, and they'll take the tractor out. They'll do those driveways with our tractor and snowblower. That way, those driveways get cleared real nice. You don't have to worry about tearing up any grass. Definitely don't have to worry about tearing up any water main heads, and everybody's happy. But not a bad little site at all. I did want to show you guys another property, but I drove over there. It's actually an industrial property we picked up this year, a cheese factory, which I think is pretty cool. We picked them up this year, again, off our website, and I was going to fly the drone around, but I noticed that it was right next to an airport, so I figured that probably wasn't going to be the best idea, but I'm sure you guys will see that in some of the future videos if it ends up snowing. So that's pretty much it, and I guess we'll roll to the outro.
So that is a wrap for this video. I'm actually up here at the shop a couple days later now. Funny enough, we're doing a video right now on how it's not snowing, and what do you know? There's a snowstorm on the horizon. They're calling for 3 to 5 inches Saturday into Sunday morning. Today's Thursday, so we got a little bit of time, but I got a couple of guys coming in today. We're gonna throw those plows on the trucks. I gotta finish putting strobes in this truck here. Just little stuff here and there. So for the most part, we're pretty much ready. I'm gonna do another video today when the guys come in, because we'll be putting those plows on, but also probably messing around with all kinds of dumb crap as we do. So probably be somewhat entertaining for you guys, but we'll have that video coming down the pipeline, and then also once it snows, if it snows, then we'll have that video coming as well. So lots of good stuff, but I hope you guys gained something from this video. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, at Mags Lawn and Landscape. Feel free to shoot me a message if you guys have any questions. I'm always happy to help you guys out and make things easier for you. But I appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you next time.